Put a little bit of the rub, nigga, I gotta be safe.
Let's get to the sports talk.
It might not be personal. Anyway, you heard him shout out Tim and Manu. So I want to know where you think their big three ranks among the all-time trios.
It's hard to rank them. I mean, if you name them, you got Bird, Parrish, Kevin McHale, Scott, Worthy-Jabbar, right? Magic. You got, obviously you have...
It's four, by the way, though. You don't get to, you get to pick for a team.
I try to shout out these guys. You've got the Heatles,
yeah,
right? Bosh, Wade, and LeBron. You've got the Warriors with KD, Steph, and Clay. You go further back, you got Willis Reed, Walt Frazier, Earl the Pearl. You got Bill Russell, and take your pick or whoever. You got this gentleman right here with Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen. The list goes on and on.
I hear you just not answering.
But it's one of those questions that can't be answered. But what we can say that's special about these guys is three guys who were not born in this country, right? Which is very, very rare. You think about Tim Duncan.
Yep.
He's American, but he grew up in the Virgin Islands.
Yep.
He was a swimmer up until a hurricane destroyed his swimming pool, so then he had to pick up basketball.
Poor thing.
Well, just the idea that the three guys who are not from here would be to play the most games together and win the most.
That's one thing you can't say about the Spurs. They was a good organization. They ain't trade to make a big three. There's no shot to nobody else. They did an in-house big three. They drafted Tim Duncan to go along with David Robinson. And then they drafted and got Manu Ginobili. Drafted and got Tony Parker. And those three together won 5 championships together. Like, they was a dominant big three, and they were just built from in-house. It wasn't no trade, it was just drafting. They drafted so good, and they turned out to be Hall of Fame players and a good big three.
As a result, that longevity, it was just something truly special.
And we talked a lot on the show yesterday. I remember so specifically covering some of the prejudice against Tony Parker and just the people who didn't want to give him a shot because of where he came from and what he was and how he just kept like a bulldog fighting back and saying, I deserve this. And learned, too, that he took the criticism and got better from it.
And internally, by the way, forget about the outside world.
Right.
He had to. Pop didn't believe in him. Pop was in RC and
Pop didn't believe in Ginobili either in the beginning. So.
Well, I mean, Ginobili was wild. That was the other thing. Like he was wild.
You think?
So can you bail us out here, Jackie? Because Mr. I won't commit to anything.
All right, so I'll commit to this. To me, the most lethal trio during their time together. And you didn't even mention them.
Who?
Jordan, Pippen, and Dennis Rodman.
Yes.
72 wins.
Yes.
By far the most lethal. But this is the most enduring, and I think it's important. Because remember now, you could do Russell Cousy and Heinsohn, you could do Russell Cousy and Sam Jones. You can't even decide who the third one is. So that's why I think in terms of enduring, these guys...
Yeah, it made it worse though. That made that Bull team powerful after that. Because they was already dominant with this Pippen and Jordan. Before they got Dennis Rodman to go along with that. Once they won 3 straight the first time, Jordan left and retired with the baseball. Then come back and get Dennis Rodman and go on another 3 championship run, and man, you get 6 rings of a comeback. That's how you know you're a dominant player. You can leave outside your sport, go play another sport, come back, good defender, and still have Scottie Pippen attached to the team, and then go on another 3-peat. Now that's a dominant trio right there.
Guys transcended a decade, and still won together, and there was never any doubt who the 3 were. Right. So I think that's what separates them. Hopefully that answers.
I think when you look at them, if you look at them individually, you say the big threes across the board, whether it's Jordan, Magic, Bird, you're gonna say, all right, Bird, McHale, Parrish, Hall of Famers. Jordan, Rodman, Pippen, Hall of Famers. Now, when you look at these guys, you know Tim Duncan's gonna be a Hall of Famer, possibly Manu Ginobili. But will Tony Parker be a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
So,
I think he will.
If he does, then you can say, all right, this is where they rank. But I think until that's done, of course they've won more.
I feel like Tony Parker is going to be a Hall of Famer. He have the numbers to prove it. He had the championships to prove it. He have an All-Star to prove it. So I believe he's going to be a Hall of Famer right on with Duncan and Manu Ginobili.
They won a lot of titles, but you got a lot of guys, big threes, that are like top 50. 3 guys in the top 50.
Right.
So I think you got to rank them like that. Even though they've won more, they've been together longer, I think you rank them amongst their individual rank in history compared to the other guys.
Looking at guys as a big three had kind of fallen out for a while, and when Ray Allen and KG joined you in Boston, the terminology kind of came back into vogue of calling you guys the big three.
The new big three.
What did that feel like when people started calling you that?
Before that, it was about having 2 guys.
Right.
You know, and that's what all that mattered. But when you had 3 guys on one team of that caliber, you haven't seen that in quite some time. You know, 3 guys who've been 10-time All-Stars. You got an MVP already. Ray Allen, multiple All-Stars, and you haven't had 3 guys together with these type of accolades come together yet. And so, you know, they formed a new big three, and thus you saw the Heatles were born right after that.
Right.
And so on and so on.
Now, I know that you and Rajon are tight now, and KG. There was a little bit, though, of calling these guys the big three. Not the first year, but after Rondo started improving, right? It caused a little acrimony, right?
No, but it was.
He became a big four, though. He
did, but
he became a big four.
But you know what else? I think that union for Ray Allen catapulted him into a completely different stratosphere because he played very well on a lot of different teams. He had to sacrifice.
Rondo came to be mad. Boston would have won that championship if they want to add on Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen. KD defending helped that team be a good defending team. Ray Allen, a shooter, go along with Paul Pierce shooting, helped that team take to the next level to win a championship. Ray Allen, good floor general, to get the guys open, to have open shots. Yeah, you call it big four, but it was a big three. There's no shot towards Rondo. Rondo was always a solid player. But without that big three, Boston won't win no championship.
Shots, as you know this, he had to sacrifice his role, did it so beautifully that he then got to be part of what Miami was doing. I think it solidified in Ray Allen's Hall of Fame experience. I really do.
One of the special things about the Spurs big three, all drafted by the Spurs. You look, all those names we named. Dennis wasn't a Bull originally. Parrish wasn't originally a Celtic. Obviously, Ray and KG weren't originally Celtics. So all those, you know, Kareem wasn't originally a Laker. All those other ones kind of, they acquired. They homegrown 3 superstars.
But that's when we have to go to the Wayback Machine, because Russell Cousy, Sam Jones. What do you mean it doesn't count? Because you didn't remember it? Oh, come on, man.
Free agency.
And there's no free agency.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
Let's
doesn't
talk about
count.
Steph
You're going to tell
Curry.
Russell he doesn't count? Good luck, man. And Cousy's still around, too. Now I got to go back and see Tommy Heinsohn and tell him it doesn't count. Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports